just finished Aliens Dark Descent and did a full series on the channel, and I just wanted to do a quick review and my thoughts and feelings and all that stuff, and you can tell me if you agree, disagree, or whatever in the comments. Let's just skip. Okay, so new campaign mode unlocked, new game plus, community features of the game, you can start new game plus, in Aliens Dark Descent for the new game menu, new rules apply, new game plus campaign, and these changes explained in the new game menu. Okay, new game plus. You keep your Marines from a finished campaign. Marines keep their level, trade, tribute, and prosthesis. I didn't think I lost any arms. But they lose everything else. Marines' maximum level is raised to 15. Your upgrade slot is available at 15. You can change the campaign parameters of New Game Plus. So if we go New Game Plus... Okay. Okay, so we... Oh, yeah, I did the right. So you go New Game Plus, and then you select the empty slot. Okay. And then we go Custom, and then... Okay, so I played on Medium, and everything was Medium, the default Medium settings. And I'm going to be real with you. I actually, when I made a second save... Let me just turn it down. I made a second save and I put it on easy mode. The game was a lot more enjoyable. I think I didn't find the punishing difficulty enjoyable. I just found it frustrating and annoying, and because the game is designed in a way that it wants you to reload if you lose your whole squad. You don't just move on and like try and find new Marines and you have to live with the loss of the important soldiers that you've spent all that time on. You always reload. It felt to me there was no point. I should never have lost a single soldier the entire time, but I did sacrifice 2. So honestly, I would just turn everything on. Death clock just disable. It doesn't matter, you have plenty of time. It's fine. Perfect. No way. Why would you do any of that? It's just weird. Yeah, so yeah, skip all this shit. Skip all this shit. Okay. Oh, we're gonna do skip all that. Oh, we're gonna do
This one's a priority.
Old Zeke boy. And I really go back to have nothing. That's pretty cool. Smart gun probably the first thing to get. Skip all this. Shoot that guy in the head. Okay, so fundamentally, because you always reloading, you just don't. It doesn't have the replayability like a Darkest Dungeon, but it has, I think, some replayability. I do enjoy a lot playing on easy difficulty. Oh, we're doing like... Actually, I just want to see.
Understood. Uploading mission
My
data.
Marines. He's kind of undisciplined. Oh, you're gonna level up. Can I don't think they let me level up, which is pretty silly. I kind of wish they let me keep the 5, because the game I found was better once I got 5 troops, but I still had, you know, challenges, of course. And I can't change. Okay. Old tutorializing. I do think that tutorializing was pretty heavy-handed early. It's just, I think, for good reason, but at the same time, I mean, New Game Plus, I should be able to skip a lot more of this. I feel like you're in tutorials for 3 hours, 4 hours,
partial signal from the settlement
maybe even longer.
We don't know exactly what's happening.
It's fine. Skip that. Skip that. But I think it's a good game. So this is just, I'm sort of circling around. I'll get to the meat and veg of my complaints, but overall, it is a good game. It is 26 hours on your first go around on medium. Unless you're really good, then 20 hours, maybe less. If you know what you're doing, you're gonna finish it in 5 hours, maybe 10 hours. If you're really quick, like that's super fast. I'd say 15 is probably where you aim for on an easy mode. But that said, on the hardest difficulties, I just can't imagine that. the enemies have so much health, it'd just be annoying. Which is where I felt easy mode, just on my separate easy mode thing, was just so much more enjoyable. Like, I less time stressing, although you still had to be careful. Just felt like I could just enjoy the mechanics of the game and feeling like soldiers were powerful. And I had moments in the campaign. I want to turn the damn dialogue off. Dialogue, all of that off. Yep. Yeah, I just felt the game is better when you can go easy. Or if anything, go easy mode and then go up difficulties with your experienced Marines. I think that would be actually the more enjoyable way to play. Similar to Aliens Fireteam Elite, how you got to start at beginner because you need to get the cards and level up and all that sort of stuff and rank your weapons up. Otherwise, you're just not prepared. And then it's just, oh, you need really good team coordination. So, puts a lot of pressure on. But then I felt like the higher difficulties in Alien Fireteam Elite were just pointless. And I felt the objectives and all that were just boring. I do think the objectives are varied enough. The gameplay, I disagree with a lot of the use of enemies. And I mean, they always chuck xenomorphs in every situation. And I kind of felt like sometimes it was just a bit, ugh. And having, you know, the stuff with the human enemies, there's a lot going on. And it's like, it's a bit, yeah, there's a lot. The story, I kind of don't, it's odd. It does fit with the Alien movies though, the more recent ones. You know, Covenant and Prometheus, in that it's a bit abstract and a bit weird. And a bit, you know, and yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing, but I do think there's plenty of maps, plenty of interesting locations. The graphics are great. Performance, I had a crash, which is annoying because I lost a bit of 30 minutes of gameplay footage, which is disappointing. But having said that, it is what it is. I am on PS5, so that's a big part of this sort of review. The difference, because this is a game that's kind of meant for, you know, mouse and keyboard, but I think they did well with the controller. The only thing is, I'd argue that it's a bit restraining at times, and that's more towards the end, when you just got to do like scripted events where you have to run away. It's hard to do the controller, run away, and then come back and take care of it, make sure you don't die as you're running away. Your soldiers are all squishy, but it feels like reasonable. I do think the alien attacks are quite basic, and when you see them attacking other things, and it just kind of, they look kind of stupid. But I understand that, say on a harder difficulty, they just go straight for a takedown and you guys would die instantly, and that's kind of fair. It's one of the tricky parts about, so Alien's Fireteam Elite as well, managing difficulty with Alien, because you don't want it to insta-kill your dudes unless you're on a high difficulty. So otherwise it has to swipe, like with its tail or its hands, and it kind of just comes off a bit. You know, why are you scared of that? Just the shovel, you should better kill it with a shovel, sort of thing. It's just, you know, as long as you don't get the acid blood on you. Which is why the perk system, the research is so valuable, because once you get the acid resistance on when you've got armor, I think that's one of the most powerful upgrades, one of the most powerful things you can have in the game, because it just saves you so much pain, because the aliens just wear you down if you're not moving enough and you're standing defending spots, because it's kind of a trap. They make it seem like standing and defending is the way to go, and it feels like it is in some situations, but if you don't accompany that with the turret positioning, you just put yourself in a bad spot just to eat acid to the face constantly as you kill them just before they get to you. The map's great. I like the map. They did a good job with that. That's one thing I will say. I do like the feel of it, and I think the aesthetics are really good for the most part. Some of the decision making in the story from key characters is like really stupid, and I still can't quite believe how stupid it is. That's it. Yeah, I think the whole finale, I think they did it wrong. And I think it has a bit to do with this, you know, so much of the game, they try and like, oh, you're on a deadline, you have to escape, you know, and then they ignore that completely for the sake of the finale being a, you know, a big explosion and all that sort of stuff. And it's disappointing. Similar to Aliens Fireteam Elite, to be perfectly honest. It has a similar vibe where you're like, oh, and then in the DLC they added, you know, proper boss fight stuff. But this one, they could have just, there was an easy way to do it too. But it kind of does take away a bit of all your hard work. But the rest of the game, there's so much of it. So that was the thing I was really surprised, was I started a separate save as I'm making my series about it, where I'm playing through. And then I was happy to make a second save. And then I got a bug, and a queen died in a spot, and it stuffed me up completely. But I was still happy to go back and do the other 30 minutes. So I'm still happy to do the New Game Plus, not just for the sake of, for the review, having something in the background, because sometimes that's, you know, it is what it is, but it's a good game. The story stuff, it's not great. But they don't try to replicate, you know, the original movies, but it does feel like a lot closer to... There's no point. It doesn't work. I've unveiled that, but it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. Like, it literally doesn't work. Because it shows here, but then once I go downstairs, it doesn't unveil them. I think there's a couple little bugs and things that I kind of look past. Because I was in the atmosphere, the intensity, the tension is real. Regardless of the difficulty, you still feel the tension and the sort of the horror elements. Higher difficulty, I imagine it's your heart's stopping sort of stuff. So if you don't like being in dark environments, feeling tension, I do think, like, I feel it draws parallels to Darkest Dungeon without having the same roguelike system, which I think there's a way to incorporate more, say, what Darkest Dungeon does well into this, and you could create a really endlessly replayable game, which again is the challenge. But it's good. And, you know, I was kind of umming about buying the game. It's one of the things I waited such a long time. That's why this review is released when it is because I just was on the fence. I was like, I don't know. On controller, a tactical shooter. But it works. And it gives you plenty of tools to use. It has, like, you get resources, you get supplies, you get upgrades and things. And I don't know if anything in it will ever be expanded upon in any other, you know, medium, but I think they gave it a hell of a shot, you know. It looks so good. Like, if they make a second one, I know Aliens Fireteam Elite making a second one, so I gotta make a video about that, but you know, I would like to see them do it in a way that is a bit more like the Darkest Dungeon with the facilities, and you can approach it in a way where you can lose the whole squad and keep going. I don't like that, you know, everyone can die, but you just reload. I just spend so many time reloading. I reloaded so much. Just one Marine gets in a coma, and you have to carry them. So I'm like, I just... The motion trackers are really funny. Because the whole game you have the beeping. It's just something you get used to. But I used to think putting down a motion tracker was like really smart. And then later on I just didn't even bother ever. It just didn't even enter my mind to even bother doing it again. It's just like... There's a couple things like that where they give you tools and you just never use them again. Because you don't need to. All that matters is you keep your dudes alive. And you don't get intimidated by having xenomorphs all around. Oh, we can run. Run around. I missed it, didn't I? God damn it. Some of the selecting near doors is an issue where, you know, they want to go places where they can see where they're going, which is fine. But with doors, you do have to sometimes, like, walk over and then you can sprint. It's kind of annoying. That's the one thing I will... Yeah, that's annoying. Some of the dialogue, the facial capture on the mouth movements isn't great, so the characters can look a little bit odd, a little uncanny. And then it's really just dumb things. Really, really dumb decisions. And then later on gloating about your dumb decision. It's like, mate, you know, you could have done one thing and you would have saved lives. And you just act like you're a hero. It's like, come on. It is kind of odd at times to think about who you are in this situation. Because I can tell you I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be the main character, lady. No. God, she's stupid. Frightening. But yeah, you get a lot of mission. I mean, the commander, the squad dudes going, you know, go here, and double time. I can hear it all. And you can scan rooms with your torch. It's very dark. I can turn some lights on. I need to go through the lift. So let's get out. This is one thing I really like doing. Just telling them to go somewhere and then just not even following them. Because you can focus leader and you can hold on it, but I just much prefer... Because otherwise you do have to adjust the sensitivity really, which I haven't done. I've just gone accepted it with it. But you can make it a little more free with your cursor movement. And then you have the stop time or slow-mo. I did find stop time, I had to switch to that because I just... And you have a whole bunch of options here. You can like do an explosive thing, blow it up. If you can actually shoot properly. And it depends on what weapons you've got equipped on your soldiers, on your marines, what tools you have, so you can, you know, customize the loadout, and you get classes and they all do different stuff. The music, I'll be honest, I think I'm over the music. Having played the 26-hour campaign, I'm over the dialogue, I'm over the music. I don't. I think it's. I did enjoy playing it on easy mode. Just, you know, you're watching something else at the same time, and then you do have your tense moments where you're focused on the game. But it's kind of nice to balance out the darkness and the tension with something else. So just as a tip. But yeah, okay. So in conclusion, the story is stupid, but it could have led somewhere interesting. I feel like that's kind of where you talk about Alien Covenant and Prometheus. They're going somewhere interesting, but they don't get anywhere interesting. It's kind of just like, at the end of the day, they don't do much with what is something novel and unique. It's going to go in the door, isn't it? Okay, anything else in here? I'm so glad the resources pop up. Have I got anyone? I don't have any. One of the most useful classes in the game, I want to mention it because it really does matter. Okay, I'm going to blow you up and see if that... Take that. The recon. Recon's really, really good. You gotta get a sniper rifle. Recon and sniper rifle. You unlock classes level 3, so it's very early. And it's good that it's that early. But the actual weapons for them, you have to use supplies to get them. Recon, silence. You get like a silencer. It's really good. Oh, I gotta call the elevator. Turrets are awesome. Always put down your turrets. Even if you think you don't need to, just put them down. Because they're just great for holding a direction. I beat the whole game. I never ever used the tactical analysis. Ever. And like, I don't recommend it. What is the frick is going on? Okay, there we go. If you have any bugs where you can't select things or give orders, just save and come back. Oh, see. Green things are interactable. You'll come back to them. Feel free to scan around. You'll highlight boxes and stuff. You can grab everything. You can order a bunch of stuff at once because your whole squad you control at once. I think it's really well done. You do have to risk reward at times. One part of the story, I purposefully sacrificed soldiers and then barely got through it. That was tough on medium. Imagine doing that on a harder difficulty. I think would be absolutely insane. So anyone who does that, I'm very, very impressed. You get multiple side objectives. Okay, so we're gonna bring it to the ARC. Can we call... Oh, I gotta go. Okay, there we go. Call it. can go in and get this first. Yeah, all the data pads. I didn't read them all. I'm not so good on the lore, so that's one thing I didn't feel. When I did read them, I didn't feel rewarded. For the most of them, I felt like they were just sort of inane. Like nothing particularly interesting. You got anything? Corpse? Bullets. Okay, run. So it's in this 5. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do a bunch of the missions because I got... One of the things that's really important is stress management. Important in life. Actually, let's do that one first. Yeah, stress is key. When they get higher stress, your soldiers become less accurate, or they get, you know, they can't quite fulfill their jobs as well. And it really, really, really can just build and build and build. And lots of them get trauma if they do too much stress. And then with the trauma, I don't know why I'm getting the data pads. There's no reward for collecting all the data pads. Or getting lots of them. It's kind of a waste of time. They could have done something with that, really. You get that. Oh, I remember this one. But you can relieve stress. Did he tell us what to do? Okay, yeah, he did. Okay. So you can rest, you can use your equipment. It's all about managing your resources. There's a whole bunch of learning. And knowledge is power. But that said, you still need troops that are, you know, high level and accurate and useful towards the end. Otherwise you will just feel like there's a struggle. So having some level 10s and level 8s, level 7s and that towards the end is very, very important. So it is better to focus on some soldiers, but it's nice to level them all up. They mostly level up pretty much exclusively from side missions and main objectives. So, you know, you can save the side objectives for your best squad to come back in and do them, but just be careful because it takes a while if they get wounded to get ready to get back in the action. Okay. Extract survivor. And then redeploy squad. Go over there. But yeah, when you're peak performing, the game is somewhat chill. But when then shit hits the fan, it just gets hectic. And you just start, ugh. It becomes an ordeal. And then you get massive onslaughts with big groups of them attacking. You get big... all the enemy alien... the xenomorph variants. That's another argument we could go on about. I do find them a bit but you know, they're all in Aliens Fireteam Elite, so if you played that you know all the different variants that they've come up with for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, we've got eggs in here. I think blowing up eggs is the nicest thing to do. So nice grenade launch. Insta-killing. Medium difficulty is just stupid. Easy, so much better. Oh, I can't get that. A lot of the resources you'll leave on maps, so you can't pick up everything. That's fine. Don't worry about coming back to get it though either. Just keep going with the story. Okay, so we can check the cameras and we get all the resources. We can see them. Look around. One of the good things you can do is you can move the ARC around if there's like patrolling enemies nearby, and it'll just clean them up. Yep. Okay, so now, see look, there's an enemy right there. And also you can be like super stealthy and just run around them and all sorts of stuff. That's probably the best way to save resources. Is just dodging. Okay, so now we need to go. Report squad. You can go here and then go grab those supplies. Okay. Finish the review. I keep getting distracted because it's that kind of game. You just kind of keep going. It's nice. You get a flow going where you feel like your squad is actually achieving its desired aims. And I think the squad is the best element about the game. You name them all. I named all mine. Did nicknames for every single character. Very important to give them nicknames. You can customize them all, make them all look different. And change the voices. I wish there was more voice options because I don't really like the repetition. Like you could use the other language voices. I think would be great. Honestly, would be really good. Okay, so now we go down. The detection level goes up when it gets to hard. You're just in trouble. I'll be honest, you're just in trouble. It is a very challenging game when you don't understand things. And then once you do, it's still challenging. But I think it's a real good game. I highly recommend buying it. That's why I'm showing you as I'm playing, talking. See, look, these are the things, the buttons, the buttons. I'm not showing you the hectic combat because, you know, you'll see it. But yeah, I got it on super special discount at like half, like 45% off or something ridiculous. So I did wait for a hefty discount, and I feel like I got my money's worth. I got stressed. I'm more than happy to just clean up. Some missions I think are bullshit at times, but maybe that's just me being shit. But yeah, tell me what you think. Did you beat the game super fast? Did you have a good time? Do you think tactical games should have more on console? I know Baldur's Gate 3 is a big thing to get on console. I gotta do more on Baldur's Gate. There's always more to do. Redeploy. Let's go here. Yeah, I think they did a great job. And I'd like to make... I was thinking you could do other sorts of games in this style as well. The way that they've done it, I think, for console, in particular with the port. I would love a medieval thing, but then melee combat's kind of a challenge. You just have blocking, I suppose. But yeah, I'll pause it, and then... Yeah, Aliens Dark Descent. PS5, my rating... I kind of feel... if I played through the game on easy difficulty, I think I'd be much more lenient. But the story's kind of weird. You can't really argue it's a good story. It's kind of weird. But it does have many different varied locations good mechanics. I kind of... It's just the squad elimination mechanics I think that could have been better. Where are we going now? I dreaded enemy encounters on medium, and I just felt like they were like unfair. But different on easy. Alright, I'll stop here. Alright, yeah, I recommend you get the game. Big discount, always. Its default price, I think, is high, but there's a lot of game. So, like 26 hours for me to beat the campaign. So, and I kind of rushed a little here, try to be a little more forceful and get the job done when there were side missions left to be done. So maybe if you did all those 28 hours. But it's a lot. It's a lot of tension. So because there's so much tension, it feels like it's more than that. It feels like you're on the edge of your seat. You're like, ah. So because it feels that way, it does make it seem like it's been so much more than that time. And I think that's... Oh. Yeah, get that done. But yeah, kudos to the devs. Done a good job. I know I had bugs and things, and I had a couple little bugs, but nothing too crazy. Having to wait for dialogue's pain house. All right. Yeah, and that's my review on FrostyFire10. Like and subscribe. Aliens Dark Descent, quality game, well made. Just really bloody tough. Yeah. All right. See ya. Watch my playthrough on my channel if you want to see some of the crazy action and get a feel for my frustrations. And yeah, I'll catch you around.